Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria, where we are currently spending our way to prosperity, and it's actually working out pretty well for us. We're running a pretty good surplus right now. We do need to cut a little bit of tax, but I'm not going to be too worried about that yet. And we're slightly negative in our bureaucracy. That I am a little bit worried about. So I'm just going to build one additional government administration in chat, and that will be fine. We'll get that completed. That will solve our bureaucracy issue for a little bit anyway, I hope. Our bureaucracy dropped quite a bit on that tick. We'll keep an eye on it. We almost certainly are going to need to continue to expand our bureaucracy to meet the needs of the expanding bureaucracy. So that is understood. So we're working on these iron mines. They're actually pretty close to being done. We're also working on these textile mills, and that's dropped out up over here, so that's noted. I do want to get these finished. We've got iron mines behind them, and then, okay, there's the textiles that have replaced the iron here. We do still need lead and sulfur. So I want to move up some lead and sulfur mines. So let's move up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then let's go over and get some lead mines moved up as well. So here's logging camps. I don't care about that. Fishing wharves, whatever. Where are the lead mines? Here's the lead mines. We've got one in Israeli Constantine. And that's actually it, other than external constructions. Really? Do we have access to any more lead? Kinda. I will queue these up right at the top, and that's all we can queue. So that's noted. We should probably also come in over here and just get these built. So we'll move those lead mines up, and that will maximize our lead production, but a lot of those are going to be in foreign markets, so that is understood. I don't think that's going to just naturally export to us the way we might prefer. So we'll just get these done. It's going to take a little while. That's fine. And we'll get these sulfur mines underway as well. All of this will get underway shortly. This is, I think, still wanting to be up at the top here. But there we go. So we'll just move those up the queue a little bit. It'll be fine. I'd like to get some lead mines going. There'll be sulfur mines behind that. So that seems fine for the moment. Our bureaucracy is positive at the moment, and our balance is quite positive as well. So at this moment, what we're doing is we're paying down our debt while constructing at the same time. Oh, the Titanic is a thing. Oh, they want us to build the Titanic. Okay. We'll build the Titanic. What could possibly go wrong? I'm sure it'll be fine. I mean, there are very few icebergs in the Mediterranean, so there's that. But I mean, we could exit the Mediterranean and go sail north. That is a distinct possibility. So for now, of course, we're just busily working on getting these lead mines finished, and the railway in Sahara is going to be done soon. But I want to check in here. Okay, an electricity shortage in Umbria. Let's take a look at that. This is happening again? Okay, I don't care. That's fine. So an electricity shortage in Umbria, we'll subsidize that, no problem. Transportation shortage in Sahara. We're currently building a railway there. In Wadai, we're building a railway there as well. So in Iran, this just needs to be subsidized. So that looks good. Okay, we're back to being negative in our bureaucracy, which is not a surprise. I'm going to build 4 government administrations in Chad. And those will be done very quickly, so that won't delay our other constructions that much, but it will a little bit, and that's sad. Large numbers of Rajput people are migrating. That's fine. We do like having more people coming in. So 1.27% isn't the highest growth numbers in the world. If we check in here, 1.11% for Ukraine, but they're getting 1.88 million annually. We're getting 1.12 million annually. So that is definitely a bit of an issue. We're still number 3 in the GDP. And we've, I think, fallen a little behind Great Britain. So that is absolutely noted. For the moment, I want to get these lead mines finished up. They should all be done soon. Yeah, that's going to take a little bit of time. The sulfur mines in Sardinia is fine. So we just have a lack of lead production at this moment. We just don't have much lead that's available to us. It's sad, to be sure, but it's not the end of the world. We've only got 3 years left in this construction queue, by the way. It may have 68 pages, but we're going to be through this in 3 years. That's very fast. So that's good. We've got a mournful disaster here. Turns out the Titanic hit an iceberg and sank. Shocking. What a tragedy. We've unlocked submarines at the same time. That's really ironic. The Titanic is now a submarine. That's the spin we're going with. I love it. So that's done, and that now allows us to start building up our navies if we wanted to with some of these support vessels, which are currently on submarines. And we could, but for the moment, I'm not going to. I want to put our money into paying down this debt. We're down to 49.3 million, and our interest that we're paying has dropped by like 10K. So that's very solid. Oil has been discovered in Darfur. For the moment, I'm not too concerned about oil. So we're going to get these lead mines finished up in Constantine. Not that we really expect that to be too big of a deal. Looks like they've got this under control. No need for us to worry about it. And our sulfur mines are going to be done in about 5 weeks. That means that, of course, our textile mills were a bit delayed, but that is fully expected. Campaign financing for the Radical Party? That's a lot of money. No. We're not spending that kind of money. I don't actually care about whether the Radical Party wins or not. Although, oh my. That's interesting. We only have the 3 interest groups. Hang on. What's going on with our public schools at this moment? Could we potentially get the intelligentsia into government? No, because they're too weak. So it would require the industrialists. We'll see what happens here. The Jewish party is almost certainly going to win. 83.4% of the polling. That's insane. It doesn't really matter to us that much. I would like to get public schools. We're leveling off a bit on our literacy, but otherwise, things seem pretty okay. So we're going to get these textile mills completed. Lead is still an issue for us. I'm going to remove the import tariff off of lead. We're actually getting nothing right now. I'd really like to get more lead production. Is there anything that we can do to get more lead production? Let's see. Yeah, diesel pumps would get us more production. I don't know that it would be that useful, though. I think I'm just going to leave it be as it is for right now and just be like, we can't get more lead at this moment. We got to import it. There's not really a way around it at this moment. So these textile mills, they are all being progressed at this moment. So that's very good. We know that our textiles are going to be okay. Now, coal is up here at this point. So we currently have a deficit of 2.2K coal. And that's a decent amount of coal. I'd like to hop down over this way and find some of our coal mines, unless we built all of them. Did we build all of our coal mines that we had queued up? I think we did. We're burning a lot of coal right now. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, that's all of them. So we actually need to go into here and queue up 1 additional coal mine in Timbuktu, and then we can get a couple in these non-integrated states. It's a bit rough, that's for sure. But we'll get going on that. We clearly need more coal. Beyond that, we do still need more sulfur as well. And we can definitely just continue to chip away at this sulfur deficit. 1.54, and each of these sulfur mines is producing 80 per level. So how many is this, actually? Calculator. 1.54K, that's 1540, rounded, divided by 80 is 19.25. So we need approximately 20 of these. Sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Perfect. That'll do. So that should deal with our deficit of sulfur for right now. Now, I do want this railway to be up the cap, but otherwise, we're working on all of these sulfur mines simultaneously. So we'll be through this quite quickly in 11 weeks. We'll have one additional sulfur mine that takes a little longer, but that's not a big deal. Scandinavia just claimed Sinai. That seems ambitious. That's very ambitious. I don't know how they plan on doing that. More momentum for the Jewish party. That's going to be an insane amount of votes for the Jewish party. It's fine. It's absolutely a-okay. We don't mind. Honestly, I don't really care who wins the elections at this point. It's fine no matter what. So at this point, the sulfur mines are 8 weeks away from finishing. Now, this one's 77. This is not accurate, of course. Okay, what's going on here? More momentum for the Jewish party. Sure, why not? I mean, why wouldn't we want them to win 100% of the vote? So we've got 20 days here, and that's fine. I mean, honestly, I'm reasonably content with where we are in terms of laws. We're also continuing to grow our money faster and faster all the time right now. So there's very little stopping us from paying off our debt and then cutting taxes. Yeah, this is currently hurting our standard of living a little bit, but honestly, we're not having very many ill effects from our taxes being so high. So that's good for right now. Not forever, but for right now. Okay, so if we were to reform this government, we could have the trade unions in here or not, and it's exactly the same. Okay. We might as well just leave it. There's no reason not to. So at this point, we're on protected speech. We have workers' protections. We could swap down, but there's no reason to do that right now either. We've still got 5 million peasants plus unemployed. Over 5 million. So I think we just keep doing what we're doing. What we're doing is working. Steel. Steel is currently expensive. Shocking. But I would be delighted to build some steel plants. So I'm going to go to Lebanon. We're going to build 5. We're building up to the economy of scale cap. I don't want to build too many. This is only 3% above the neutral price, right? So that's fine for now. We're going to get these sulfur mines finished up eventually. Excellent. So that's making progress, and the railway in Wadai, that'll be done eventually. 94.4. Hey, that's come off of 95%. That's neat. When is this time modifier going to expire? It's not in here. Is it in the state? Information. Modifiers. It's not in here either. Okay, I don't know where that's located. I'm sure it's located somewhere, but I don't know where. So we do need more government administrations, which we're not terribly surprised about. I'm going to build these in Chad, and I'm going to build 5 of them. That was actually 6. Close enough. We'll probably need another one soon enough anyway. So that seems fine. So our sulfur mines are nearly complete at this point, and we can see sulfur has fallen off of our it's expensive list. Now, we're going to run out of things to pull coal out of the ground with very soon. I do see lumber in there. So I'm going to go down our list here, and I'm going to move up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 logging camps. Not going all the way. We're not moving a lot of them up. Just a few. Excellent. And they'll be done very quickly. That's only 5 weeks. So we're done with our sulfur at this point-ish. Why are we not working on this coal mine in Timbuktu? Okay, now we are. Oh, it's because we didn't have enough. I was thinking that this was building and this wasn't, but we just weren't actually building it. I looked at it wrong. That's on me. More people immigrating, which is, of course, phenomenal. So 1.27% pop growth at this juncture. We've got 20 million gainfully employed. So that's progression for sure. We're very slowly moving forward on getting everybody jobs. We don't quite have everybody having jobs yet. Lebanon is at minus 4.7. This is due to geography, right? Yeah, Mount Lebanon. So that's absolutely fine. Not an issue. Wadai, of course, that's a bit of an issue, but it is coming down. It's down to 94% at this point. So that's an improvement. Apparently the turmoil there is improving, so that seems great. And also improving our balance. Look at that. We're paying 39.4K in interest now. We're financially very solid at this moment. Very, 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 very solid. So I'm very happy about that. We have successfully spent our way out of debt. Always good to do. We're now number 2 GDP in the world, by the way. We have surpassed Great Britain by a relatively wide margin. So we're just going to keep on focusing on these materials here. Unfortunately, we can't build more coal, and we can't build more lead. We've got all that we can from those. Can we untrack coal and lead from this viewpoint? Because we really can't do anything more there. That'd be neat if we could. I don't know if we could. We've got an electricity shortage in Amelia, and that needs a power plant. We've got an electricity shortage in Dalmatia. That needs to be subsidized. In Wadai, of course, that's not an issue. Over here, we've got a transportation shortage. We can subsidize this. And in here, we can subsidize that as well. Beautiful. So that's only one power plant that we can get queued up there, and that'll be done very, very quickly. Now, the next question is, when do we want to think about going to war? That also gives us central planning here. So this is going to cause us significant issues. Because we're going to switch to telephone switchboards, which is going to be a ridiculous amount of bureaucracy. Truly and utterly ridiculous. But we're also going to have a huge, huge shortage of telephones. 3,000, to be precise. It's going to be a little lower than that. We do have Electrics Industries, so we're going to be able to produce some telephones here. These are already fully maxed out. So, we're producing 40 telephones per level. How many, in theory, do we need? 2,800 divided by 40 is 70. I don't think we actually need that many because of economies of scale. So here's what I'm going to do. In Transjordan, we're going to take this up to, and yeah, I know there's not many peasants here. We're going to take this up to the economy of scale, and then that's it. So we need to bring this to 39, like that. Now, I don't necessarily want to do all of this immediately. So what we're going to do is we're going to do as before, where we're going to move up all of these that we have construction progress in, and then we're going to start working on the Electrics Industries as we finish up these. So that seems good, but we definitely need to deal with that telephone shortage. So we'll get that going as soon as possible, which we should already be starting on it. Yep, there we go. We are now beginning work on our Electrics Industries. We're about 23 weeks away from the first of those starting to roll off the lines. And yeah, you can see our money is down a lot. This is because we're spending a lot of money trying to procure additional telephones. They're currently maxed out in price. So that clearly needs significant work. Our construction efficiency in Wadai is getting a lot better now, so that's good. And we'll get these textile mills finished up. And the Electrics Industries, they're starting to have significant work done on them. But this is going to take a little while to get all the way through those Electrics Industries. But even with this economic almost crisis that we've created for ourselves, we're doing fine. This is absolutely glorious, in fact. So this seems perfect. We'll just continue to work away at this, and we'll get these iron mines finished up. Himalayan people are migrating to Baghdad. Okay, sure. Why not? Seems good. And at this point, we see this number is dropping. This is probably due to imports more than anything. But we are absolutely going to want to have a domestic supply. This also produces radios, remember. So that is wonderful. We're going to need them. Eventually. I want to check, actually, in our mobilizations here. Is radio a thing that we do here? No, but we can do luxurious supplies, which we should do. And we should make sure that all of this is a thing. And instead of being first aid, we should switch to field hospitals here. Can we turn that off, please? There we go. That'll be absolutely fine for now. And then down here, we're going to need to also swap this. And yeah, this is going to be expensive, but that's okay for the moment. Okay, something like that, and something like this. Perfect. So that'll get all of our military supplies going there, and that'll drive us some additional demand in some areas. So we'll keep an eye on that. We can see that oil is definitely a little on the deficit-y side. But for the moment, I think focusing on our electrics industries is absolutely the way to go. We still have a huge deficit of telephones. 1,500 at this moment is our shortage. And that's absolutely insane. So we got to get these electrics industries underway. That's looking good. Checking in here, we can see that we now have under 3 million unemployed and about 2 million peasants. So we're still slowly working those numbers down, but I'm expecting that to turn around fairly soon, where those numbers start to grow. It won't be very long, I think. So at this point, we're still the number 2 GDP, and Ukraine is pushing 830 million. Like, they're up there. They're not quite double our economy at this point, but they're pretty close. So that's understood. Now, are we going to fight Ukraine again? Probably. But right now, I want to get us out of debt. That's mission number 1 before we go back to war, at least against anyone who matters. We might go to war against Wandala fairly soon, or Ethiopia fairly soon. Either of those would be fine. But for right now, I really want to get this electrics industry crisis taken care of so that we can start getting to work on our oil. I'd like to get more oil production going here. So that seems fine, and we may have to start not relying on this view and instead relying on this view. So if we sort by balance here, we can look at it like this, right? And we can see, yeah, that's a thing. Or we could just sort by market price and do things this way. That's also a possibility. So as we can see, even radios are currently fairly expensive, which is a good sign for our electrics industries, which are beginning to finish up at this point. So that looks good, and we're going to be scaling up our economy of scale in Transjordan for electrics very significantly here. The railway in Wadai is still slowly ticking along, very slowly. I want to check in on this railway here. That needs to be subsidized. Our electricity shortage in Timbuktu, huh? This actually needs to be expanded. So that's fine. And then we've got a transportation shortage here, which this needs to be expanded. We also have an electricity shortage in Kordofan, and that needs to be subsidized. So that'll be fine for now. We'll get a couple of other things built here, but overall, our number of pages is dropping. We're down to 64 pages. Even though we continue to add things to this, which is, you know, not necessarily great. But I'd really like to get more lead mines and coal mines. I mean, we can actually build a pair of coal mines over here, which I do want to get that going immediately. So we'll get those done. Getting more coal would be useful. Also useful, of course, would be moving up some of these oil rigs, specifically like these. What's our current oil deficit? 2.5K. That's pretty significant. I moved up 5. So that'll do for now. I want to continue to primarily focus on the electrics industries, but moving up 5 oil rigs will do for the moment. So we're still number 2 GDP, and Britain is right on our heels. So that's absolutely noted. Once we are done paying off our debt here, and once the electrics industries are built, we should be in a much better position to expand our construction, which I'm thinking about doing. I feel like expanding our construction is going to be necessary in multiple metrics very soon. In terms of GDP growth, in terms of population growth and in terms of dealing with our investment pool. Well, our investment pool is actually keeping itself pretty down, so I'm not that concerned about that, I don't think. Okay, so that seems fine for now, but it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we're probably going to have our debt go away entirely, and that will be, of course, fantastic. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.